Welcome to the Cold Conquest series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 19th of September 1912. In the last part, we populated our town. You can see we've now got a population of 619. Happiness is fairly stable, and hopefully we're going to boost the happiness a little bit more, because what we need to do now is actually get in a covered hole. We're going to need a covered hole to deliver some alcohol. What do we want? I think a lighter steam covered thing here. Let's just go for speed. You're too slow. I think we'll just get, I think 3 tons of alcohol would be quite adequate. Now, what I want to do in this video is quite literally go through the winter, because I'm going to be really interested to see how well my heating plant holds up. I mean, it could turn into a total disaster, but I think the only way we're going to find out is to go through this first winter. And what I want to do is do the whole winter in this video, but at the same time, I don't really want to show you everything blow by blow, because not that much is happening at the moment, because I don't really want to commit to anything excessive beyond building these roads up, and of course, more importantly, working on our town down here, because this is going to be the next one we're going to populate in the next video. You can see generally we've got most things are ready. We're rebuilding the technical office that we that burnt down in the last winter, and so most of the buildings are finished. We finally managed to get the sewage outfall done. The one thing I am considering is we can get 6.5 tons of waste there, but I think we're also getting, I'm not sure if this actually produces waste as well, so I'm very tempted just to be on the safe side. I can never remember work out that small containers. I think this is large containers. What I'd like to do, if possible, it's almost like this one, maybe this doesn't need, it's not picking up, so I think what I might do is put you to there, put in, actually what I could do is we'll put a, do I really need a large one, or do we need a small, big garbage container thing connector there? I'd just like to get it into that area there. Oh, that is very close. I think if I put it there and then say we upgrade, actually if we take this footpath from there to there, we don't need to build this just at the moment. 126. Don't think it's still going to connect, actually, to be honest. Just remove this. I think we're just work with what we've got at the moment, and then possibly sort this out at a later date, because this will hold 6.5 tons of mixed waste, so we should be okay. So say at the moment we're just trying to build in this area here. We are working on, we got this now up here, but this doesn't have a power supply, so we need to put in a power supply up here, but I don't in a rush to do that at the moment. Oh, then again we could do, we've built this here, we don't need that. We need power to here. Yeah, I think what we could do is actually if I put this, if I put you out, say about there, yeah, if we put you out a fair distance, we can then use this to supply power to the coal mine or the iron mine as well. Yeah, I think that works, because I'm also thinking about maybe putting in an industry here where we can turn timber into coal. So if I put you right out about there, can just connect this up with a mud footpath here. Yeah, I think that will work. And then we're just put a, where we got to get to. We've got to get to there. So if I run, get across to there, I think we're just connecting to there. Just finished our first research. I'll talk about that in a little while and why I'm actually doing it. And I think you can work on these now. Some reason you don't. What's up with this thing here? I mean, you should be allocated to this. Okay, well, see how that's going to carry on going. I think we will put you on that as well. And that. I mean, you're on everything else here. Anyway, we're down to -11, so we do need to keep an eye on the temperatures here. So we're going to turn on the overlay. Now there is a small problem with the temperature, in the sense that what you'll see is that the pre-built buildings don't show temperatures. The reason for that is, if I come in here, you'll see that these don't have a thermometer inside, where if you compare it with this one, this has got a thermometer. So at the moment we're maintaining 24 degrees. Now what I'm interested in is the hot water tank. See, at the moment this is 90 degrees and the heat exchanger is 90 degrees. But you can see that the kind of hot water tank down here is about 80 degrees. So what we're doing is losing about 6 or 7 degrees at -10 to these tanks here. So at the moment the temperature is holding up quite well, which is good. Let me just see, just keep going. How's the happiness? Okay, so we're actually losing happiness now. We need to give a little bit of a shove of alcohol into our spread the good cheer. Oops, we need to wait until unloaded. I made a mistake there. Now we could be losing happiness simply because we're going into winter. Now the research that I did was, if we click on here, the actual research I started to do was this here for forest study, and what I'm going to do is wood cutting planting policy. The reason for that is that we are going to be doing quite a lot of cutting trees down, and and the more of these I build, the more of a problem it's going to become. So what I want to do is just make sure that I don't have to keep going around replanting trees, because the game will do it for me. So that's the reason why I'm following that policy, plus the fact that it's only 400 days, so we can still be able to kind of work with our professors and still keep training our university graduates. So at the moment we're holding at -9. What I do want to do is just check the garbage overload as well, because of course we're now going to be in this situation here. And still keep wondering why you got 56% in there. It's almost like this doesn't flow into there. You can see also now that I've kind of removed this area here, and at the moment we're just building up this road here. As I say, we're not going to be building that much going forward at the moment, because the winter is going to be quite useful. The other thing I also might as well check while we're at it, seeing we've got here the voltage is good, water pressure has got lots of oversight, got go underground. Yeah, there's no pressure on the sewage system at the moment. Yeah, so what we're going to do is give these guys a little bit of a chance at where you can provide support to these and these. I don't think, because we're not really building anything here at the moment, which is okay. What I do need to do is start thinking about this, because let's have a look at our building, our vehicle maintenance. Show wear and tear on build. We're at 39%, so we are going to need to start getting this actually active. But again, I'm not going to do it just in the moment. This month is all about this winter is going to be all about is can I get the population through here. Anyway, guys, I'm going to cut the video here, and what I'll do is I'll come back in the middle of December, because we've got a long way to go through this winter and I don't want the video to be too long. So I'll see you in the middle of December. Okay, welcome back. We are picking up on the 16th of November 1912. You can see that the temperatures here, because the temperature is minus 25, is now down to 19 degrees Celsius, which means that we are getting a little bit marginal. But I think the hot water tank temperatures are still holding up in their own way. I mean, there's 90 degrees there, 80 degrees here, so we're not losing on the hot water tanks. It's just that the actual kind of internal temperature is suffering, probably because this temperature is there. We're now on minus 34. Now, I did have a run into a bit of a problem with this, is the fact that my happiness is suffering from the lack of access to culture. And of course, the problem is the fact that this closes due to bad weather. So what I've done is I've got a priority job going here to build an opera house, which hopefully will be able to deal with this. And part of me says to get rid of this, actually, because if we've got an opera house here, we don't need a theatre there. So what I'm going to do, if I can find my demolition crew, is we're actually going to get rid of you and remove you, because I'm going to need this spot for something else later on, probably at the police station, because we won't need crime at the moment, but having a police station in the center of town will make a difference. You can see this is actually showing the temperature. I'm not exactly sure why, but it's a bit annoying, the fact I can't see the temperature inside these buildings, but the hot water tanks are full. And at the moment our boards are still looking good. As I say, we're kind of holding at minus 33 at the moment. Over here, things are still plodding along. We've now finished most of the buildings in this area. We don't need to just turn that off because we won't need it straight away. We're still working on this monument here. We need 3.8 tons of steel. I just want to come up here. We've now built this, but of course there's not much point in putting coal into here at the moment. Or that we could put coal into here, actually. Let me just pick up. We're just going to buy a dumper. We don't really need that big massive one. We'll get this one. We might as well get coal in there, and of course this is where it builds up. We've got a new vehicle type. We've got a train thingy bob here. I think what I am going to do is, these guys are working on the repair station. I think we're going to start doing the groundworks for that, just because they've got nothing else to do. You've built this, you've built this. You're working on that. I'm not seeing anything else in this area that needs any work done to it. It's minus 36 degrees in there. Anyway, we'll keep focusing on this area here, because this is our area of interest. Anyway, so far we've has managed to survive minus 32 degrees Celsius. So what I'm going to do again now is just cut the video and I'll come back around Christmas or with this building. So we've managed to survive minus 33, minus 34 degrees Celsius. So what I'll do now is I'll just cut the video and I'll come back when we get to the end of December. Okay, welcome back for another update. We've finished the Opera House here. So we've now managed to fix our problem related to culture, and our happiness dropped right down to about 66%, but it's on the way back up again. Temperature wise, we've got minus 40 at the moment, and the temperature's down to 7.73, but we're not getting any complaints over everything being too cold. So it looks like at the moment we're still in the good position with respect to keeping our residents warm. And the now a bit of another update is that I got to the point of building this store here and the factory connection was missing. So what I've done is I've taken the opportunity to remove that and put it here, and then once this road's finished we'll put a road into here, and what that will do is it just free up a bit of empty space here for something else, because this is actually the warehouse. So what I'm thinking here is to put in a small cargo station, something, well, that'd be quite nice actually, is to have a dual pickup here and drop off. So I think that will work. We drop that in there as well, because this road's a little bit short. So I think what we'll do is we'll turn you into a mud road. Like that. What that will mean is I can then put, these guys don't have a lot to do, so you can actually start work on that, because I don't think this actually needs that much to build, just needs a little bit of concrete and gravel, and then we can put some steel and asphalt in there. And what that will do is give us a cargo drop off for both the warehouse and for the linen factory as well. Actually, do I need that? No, I probably don't think we actually need that, so we can save a bit of money by removing that. We'll just have a drop off and pick up point to the warehouse here. This road is now finished, so we can just drop you into there. Put the road crew on here. Where are you? You've only got, oh no, cancel. What was that? Put you just there. Of course we can start work on the factory connections as well, though these are a little bit small, so they might prove a bit of a challenge to build. So our main crew at the moment is just sat around doing not very much at all. Quick back over to here just to show you over here virtually everything is finished now except for this here, and I think what we need to do is put these guys on here, finish that off. I'm not sure if we've built we can probably finish that off as well while we're at it. Yeah, we just need 12 tons of steel. We've got the substation here, but of course we got no actual power. And just to give you an update on the road situation, I think we've still got this guy working out here, and this road I think is still being worked on as well by our here. So hopefully by the end of winter we will have these roads connected, and that means that going forward into 1913 we'll be able to start to focus on other things, especially the possibility of getting industry. The other thing I'm thinking about is possibly a ship. And just have a look at this. Okay, we can't get that. We don't have any there. We're gonna have to buy these with dollars. And the ships I'm going to be interested in are these P liners. You can see they can bring in quite a lot of resources, but they can't bring in aggregate. But what they can do is bring in crops. So I am going to be quite interested to see whether we can do something with that from the point of view of bringing some crops in to here, which we can then, so rather than putting chains of trucks coming into here clogging this interface up, what we'll be able to do is put in a brain's faded, sorry guys, put in an option to be able to deliver the crops from here to there. The other thing, I wasn't really planning on this, but could we could go out this way, because eventually, yeah, eventually I need, if I'm careful, because eventually these free sites get taken away, and we can readjust the road here so that we can bring the railway out, maybe to be able to deliver stuff up to here, because this is going to be a bit problematic without a port. Temperature wise, we're at 16 degrees because we're at minus 46 now. So I think 46 is the lowest. So we got down to 16 degrees, but we didn't have any of these buildings showing low temperatures. As long as we keep the tanks full, you can see here these tanks are running at 80 degrees, so we've got no loss of temperature across this distance here. And I think that's the key, that we've got to keep the tanks absolutely 100% full. So down here 90 degrees. Based on what I just saw, I know it flashed up very quickly, we're back to 46 degrees again. So again, you can see here we're dropping down to basically 16, 17 degrees. So minus 41. That means if the tank in here was not at 90 degrees Celsius, because that's a temperature, it's not like an indication that the tank is actually full. It's an indication of the temperature of the water in the tank. But of course, if the less the heating plant produces, the lower that temperature drops. And then of course that corresponds to that. So that means is, in order to be able to keep our citizens warm on this in this scenario, we've got to make sure that the heating plants always keep the hot water tanks at 90 degrees, because again we're minus 42 at the moment, and I know you can't really see the numbers because they're not showing up well against the glare of the building, but at the moment these if I can get in really close, you can see that they're holding the temperature at between 16 and 17 degrees at the moment, with a temperature of minus 46. I think if it gets much lower than minus 46, we might be in trouble. Obviously, this is not particularly that interesting. So what I'm going to do is just monitor this temperature. And if it gets below minus 45, minus 46 degrees Celsius, I'll be right back. In fact, it's going up again now. So I'll see you in a minute if anything happens. Okay, welcome back. We are now picking up on the 15th of February. And the temperature is still minus 30. But we are still holding up in this area here. Our workforce is still pretty happy. We have got a little bit of increase in crime. We've had a little bit of a problem with the our fluctuating power supply, which has caused a small problem, and the fact that the power went off very briefly. So we probably need to get more workforce working into this area. I think it might have also had a bit of a problem with wastewater as well. So that's another issue that we're going to need to take a look at. We may actually need to put a sewer drain in here to ensure stability. Now, the other thing I want to show you is that At the moment, I've got two of these big trucks trying to burn off all the waste, and I think I actually aggravated that because what I did is the demolition crew, which were emptying here, was dropping the mixed waste into this area, and that's actually given me a problem. So what I've done is I've got another truck here that's kind of manually doing the business, burning off extra waste as well. So I think we've got a tiny amount of mixed waste in here in the dump as well. So yeah, so I nearly kind of messed myself up there with respect to that. And of course, one of the problems is that when you've got 13 tons of mixed waste in here, it takes quite a long time for it to burn off, because this only burns, what's it, 0.35 tons of waste per day, I think, at maximum production. So it's not exactly coming that way, but on the positive side is we're not really getting that much in the way of waste at the moment. We're getting a little bit more there, so I think things are going okay. I don't think we're getting a little bit of an accumulation of hazardous waste. Again, something which we're going to need to improve over time. This construction is coming along quite nicely with respect to that, and as you can see, the temperature's holding at -27. So basically, once the temperature gets low, it seems to hover around -18, but that's good, reasonable. Let's just show the hot water tanks. Hot water tanks are still holding up quite nicely. We've managed to keep the waste under control, but it's still a little bit sketchy in one or two places. But as I say, the weakness is on this end, which we're going to need to think of how we're actually going to deal with this. Part of me thinks that we could drop some waste into here and kind of fill it up and then let it rot down slowly over time, but it's a very time-consuming process. Another option is the fact that we've got the small incinerator, which we could start to put together, but what we'd have to do is plan it very carefully so that when we're burning all the domestic waste and all that, that eventually, once we get the waste separation tech, which I've already started over here, I've started doing the first step. In fact, it's just about to finish. So we've now got finished this, and I think the next step is waste separation. Let me just check. And we may not be able to get distribution offices, but I think if we can, yeah, we don't need energy from waste. We need waste separation, because what that will do then is take us to waste separation education. So I think we're gonna keep pushing this tech forward. We're gonna need it anyway, so we're just gonna come here. And overall, our population is pretty good. I mean, our population's kind of flatlined since February, and you can see here we're getting more and more births over deaths. In fact, if I show you the deaths here, if I go back, kind of spread it back, go back to beginning of the month, not month, the year, winter. So if we go back to about October, you see we had a spike of births, and now that's flattened off. We've had the deaths come through here, which is quite understandable. Our actual population has continued to grow, so we've now got since nearly 800. Productive age workers is kind of tends to go up in spikes anyway, because obviously you get groups of children coming of age. Got babies there, and if you see here, our education, our advanced education, we've got 174 now. We got 223 without education, but we're not getting an indicator that's not affecting our employment, which is good. Productivity's kind of taken a few dips through the winter, but you can see it's still staying high, not as high as it was at 82%, which isn't bad really for when you're playing realistic mode. We are finally starting to get, this is nearly finished as well, so that should ease off a bit of pressure. So we are setting ourselves up now a little bit for this area here, but what I am tempted to do is buy that P liner, and so we have to buy it here because it's going to take a little while to come in. So what I'm going to do now is cargo ship capacity. I mean, we got this Proteus class, but that's gravel. That's this oil. So I'm not sure. That's the aggregate version. Now this is going to cost us, wow, 1.8 million. I don't think we got enough money for it, have we? Okay, that's going to be a little bit of a problem. We got a motor schooner here for 56,000. This is dollars, isn't it? Yep. Well, we got this motor schooner here, but only bring 120 tons of crops in. I think I'm going to buy one just so that we can use it. So we're going to buy you there. And then what we can do is use that to bring in 120 tons of crops. But more importantly, as time goes by, we're going to need this to send up stuff to up here. So I think we're just going to give it a go and see how effective it is. I mean, if it's not, because my main concern is that this custom post can get very quickly overwhelmed. And we do need to be able to get that running relatively efficiently. I did make a bit of a mistake here. I accidentally built an asphalt road, so we're going to have to use the workers from there to finish it off. So I obviously wasn't paying attention, but we've now got these in here. We are clearing this, which is just construction waste, which will go straight to the border. I mean, economically, we're still kind of losing money, but so far this year, we've exported 39 tons of construction waste, so we've made a whole 155 rubles. Because of course, what we're doing now is we're actually burning off our mixed waste here. Wow, is this guy still going? Is he? No, it looks like he's back with another load. This guy is actually burning some hazardous waste at the moment. Why do I get the feeling that there's... Oh yeah, this guy's waiting. We've got a little bit of a queue here, which is a cause for concern. Let me just see what's going on here. Yeah, I know I've got a traffic jam. Going to point me direct to here. Yeah, this is the guy doing the really big burning. I think what we'll do is we'll send you back to the depot with waste on it. Yeah, what he's was doing was interfering with these guys who are bringing, and then that's going to affect my general collection up here. You can see it's already started to have an effect, so we couldn't afford that to be going on too quickly. In fact, I think we're going to get that problem. I think what I need to do is change this and put you back onto there. We got 25 tons of mixed waste in here, but you can see it's all burnable. So what will happen is this will decay slowly over time. In fact, I think, what are we doing? Where is our friend? There he is. Where is he? I think we're going to change you to there. You can unload there. And what we'll do is remove the... what he can do is kind of empty out that, so that we don't get too much of a backlog in here. Tiny little bit of hazardous waste. Yep. Yeah, I think that will work. So he's now got a full load of 13 tons. I think if I can empty some of this out, then we can get the everything back into stasis again. Right, what we're going to do is just one more check of the temperatures. Yeah, you can see now that we've got back to -14. So I think we've come through the winter quite successfully. We've managed to preserve our happiness, and overall things are going fairly well. We need to keep our guys focused on getting this built, because what I'd certainly like to do in the next part also is start to get some industry going. Let me just see, get you building that, because I don't think we need anything else at the moment. We've got spare flats. We've got plenty of spare space at the moment, so we don't really need to get there. What we need to do is start making some money. The downside of... oh, there it is. Right, what we're going to do is send you to the border, and you're going to load crops, and then you come back to here, and you're going to unload crops and wait until unloaded. And I don't know, I'm not exactly sure how the fuel system works with this game. We've got fuel in here. I don't know if he's going to go off that way with no fuel. I think because he's a sailing schooner, I think they use very, very little in the way of fuel. And I think that might be a cheap way of doing it. I think what we're going to do is go for about, we'll set it at 386 tons of crop, so we get that, kick them guys off. I think we've got away with the winter, so this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. What I will do is play on until the new summer comes around. In the next part, we will work on getting this town up and running and functional, because this has got to be our next kind of key objectives. And then what we're going to do then is start getting our economies, making some money, and then we can start thinking about this town here. And again, of course, the most difficult one of all, seeing that the actual harbour kind of burnt down up here as well. Where is the harbour? Oh, the harbour's here, because we've got to clear all this hazardous waste, and that's going to be a real pain in the neck to do. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.